Welcome back, you sexy, cute, beautiful anime lovers,
Yes,
anime
sir.
watchers. We
Sure.
are the Out of Pocket Anime Podcast,
Manga readers. I
and
just want to
it's
be
your
included.
boy. No, I
Yeah.
don't think we read mangas.
I want to be a part of this, all right? So,
You're not a part of that.
manga
You're
readers.
definitely not.
Well, I'm not a manga reader, but I want them to feel included. We're all
Okay,
inclusive
I
here at
just would
Anime
like to point
Podcast.
out that Kamini Hasha has been sipping sake all day.
Sake!
Because his Eagles won
Sake!
the
Fly
AFC
Eagles fly,
championship.
baby.
I'm
Fly
sorry, the
Eagles
NFC.
fly. All right,
Okay.
Saquon MVP, baby.
All right. Anyway, today we are
3
getting
touchdowns.
into Blue Lock
Yes,
season
sir.
2, episodes 7 through 14. We've already covered 1 through 6. So if you want to see that, it will be in the description below. Today we got 7 through 14.
I don't know why you're talking like this, but I like it. Continue. I'm
Then
a
why did you
fan.
point it out?
You may proceed. Because you're talking different. That's all I
Okay.
wanted the people to know. You're talking different.
Any last few words on the Eagles, so that way you're not bringing them up halfway throughout the show.
I
Last words.
will bring them up halfway through the show. I just want
No,
y'all
you
to
won't.
know
Just get it out now.
every now and then I'm gonna be like, Saquon! Like birds. Like a bird. All right. The Eagles are the best team in the league. I want y'all to know, and I apologize to you, the fans, because I am a tad bit tipsy
Thank
at
you
the
for drinking
moment.
before this. I appreciate it.
I'm a
Thank you.
fan. Everybody's a fan. Let's make it happen. Fuck it. I am so excited to talk about Blue Lock. It's such a good
Yes.
show. Such
Yes.
intense soccer, by the way.
So, first things first, we left off that first 6 loving Blue Lock. Every
Yeah.
first 6 episodes.
Yep.
Amazing start to the show.
Yeah.
Great start.
One thing
How are they
we
gonna finish
did
it up?
one thing we did talk about in the first 6 is that a lot of people have been shitting on the animation of Blue Lock.
A lot.
And even when in that first 6 when we talked about it, I was like, they're shitting on it. Like there are moments where it's really trash, but it's not that bad.
Mhm.
It definitely got worse in the final set. Like I saw it more in the final set of episodes that we're covering, where it was like it was worse more often. But I still it didn't bother me that much.
I was gonna say it didn't really bother me. I get it.
No.
It's probably not as good as like some fighting animes.
No,
and,
it's
like, how
definitely
intense.
it's definitely like no JJK. It's not Demon Slayer.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
none of those, and I'm good with that. Like,
Right. It's a sports anime.
yeah, I
Like,
truly
come on.
understand. Like, it's none of those. Like, I'm not sitting here arguing the fact that like, hey, the animation is top tier. It's the best of the best. But it's like I enjoyed. Like, I truly acknowledge that the animation wasn't what I wanted it to be, but it also
Hold
wasn't
on.
like
Did they convey what they were looking for?
that.
So
That was
the
my
skill
point that I was
sets,
gonna
the
make.
skill sets of each
Yeah.
person, did they convey it? Like Isagi's puzzles, it looked like a puzzle
Yeah,
throughout the animation.
like truly, like the one thing they did a really good job of, and I put this down in my notes, is that like it's high level competition in soccer, and they actually did a very good job of showing it and not telling us, right? So it's like we talk shit about the one thing, like we love solo leveling here at OOP, right? Like me and you both fucking love solo leveling. But the one thing we hate about solo leveling is that they tell us like, hey, this person's A rank or a B rank without showing us this person's an A rank or a B rank. Like the one thing they
We
did
still
a
don't
good
know what
job of
other S ranks really look like up to
truly,
now. What we're season 2, episode
exactly.
4. So
Yeah.
we may have on episode 4. I didn't
We're
watch
through
that yet.
episode 3. We're through episode 3. So let's
Episode
stop it
3.
at 3.
So I haven't.
Yeah. Because
So I
episode
haven't
4 does
watched
show us. Yep.
the S rank. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So finally.
But it's like Blue Lock does a very good job of showing us like what high level soccer and that they did a very, very good job of making it like I was all in. You know what I mean? Like I'm seeing shit going on and I'm forgetting I'm watching an anime and thinking I'm watching a high level soccer match through the whole last bit of the show. Would you agree with that? Or
yeah, I mean it's still, I mean it's still a little bit too dominant for me to where it's like they're
what do you mean
making
by
it to
too
the final
dominant?
third. So each person has a final third shot every time they get possession. So nobody loses the ball so quickly to the point where they can't even get to shoot a shot. So what you're essentially seeing at this point in Blue Lock, episode 7, episode 8,
Mhm. Mhm.
is a back and forth. And
Yeah.
you can argue that at the
But that's
beginning of that
basically
game,
what
it's
soccer
been the
is,
whole
isn't
game.
it? It's
But
the
no, I
midfield
mean, it's not even
dominance,
close.
right?
It's not no, no, it's not even close
Well,
because
I made that
not
up because I
you're
don't watch soccer, so we're
yeah,
good.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm not too tied to that opinion because I don't fucking watch soccer because I'm not a fucking nerd.
You're like, "Isn't that how it works? Both sides are just scoring goals left and right?" Like,
Yeah.
no, that's not how it works.
Yeah, the
But
only thing I truly understood is they showed the backstory of the Snake Eyes guy, right? The green eye. They showed his backstory and he started as a
Aiku,
yeah, they started he started as a striker, right?
yes,
That is the only true thing I understood because like in football, all
and then
your
a
best
coach,
players, yeah,
yeah,
all your best players are like you're a quarterback or you're a running back.
yeah,
No matter
or
what
wide
other position
receiver,
you play, you're a
or wide
quarterback or a
receiver.
running back. I'm talking about young, not like high school. High school is where you start to see those good players develop into wide receivers and stuff. But like they're all quarterbacks or running backs. Like Saquon was a JV quarterback.
Uh-huh.
It's like that's the only part of this I understood is like he was like, yeah, I'm a striker, and then now we see him developed as a defense player. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah. I mean, and that's kind of what I was hinting at throughout the entire
Yeah.
time we've been covering Blue Lock is there can't be 11 strikers on a team. I go, there has to be a deeper meaning to this
Right.
blue log shit than just finding the best striker. Because you remember, Ego at the very beginning said, all I'm looking for is the best striker. That's all I care
Yeah,
about.
that's
That's
all
all
I want.
Japan
That's
needs.
all I
That's
want.
all I want. And then
Yeah.
as this show is unfolding, you are seeing more and more of, oh, okay, you're a good goalie. You're a good defender. You're a good right back. You're a good center mid. You're a good
Yeah.
winger. You're a good center midfielder.
Yeah.
You know what
Now
I mean?
you now let me lay this out for our viewers and stuff like that. So you haven't seen Haiku.
Mm-mm.
Like that's the volleyball anime that a
Yeah.
lot of people consider the best sports anime.
Uh-huh.
You haven't seen
I've heard
that.
about that.
Yeah, you've heard about it, I'm sure, but you haven't seen it. You haven't watched
No.
it. I have. All right. I think Blue Lock, like just storyline, the pace of play, like everything they consider, is on pace to be better. I don't like it's not at this moment, it's not better because it's not as far along and it's still
Mhm,
got ways to go. But at this
mhm.
moment, it's on pace to be the best sports anime I've ever watched. And as
Okay.
someone
So
who's like, yeah, and as someone
you
who's
still think
grown
Blue
up,
Lock is well ahead.
oh yeah, oh yeah. As someone who's grown up playing sports and who's like super into this, like
You can
I'm a
connect
big
to it.
fan. Yeah, I'm a big fan of them doing a sports anime like this. And it seems like the perfect time with like all the uprising and just like the sped up version of animes nowadays.
And we talked about Aiku. We talked about Aiku's background. Let's get into the other background we heard about, which was pretty much the main background of this entire second half. Ren and Sai. What do you think
And
about
it's
their
real quick,
background?
do you want to before we get into the second one, do you want to talk about Nagi's goal?
I mean, we can talk
Is
about
that is
Sai's
that
goal
wha
first.
yeah, well, all right. So
Sai's
let's
goal
let's
happened
let's talk
first. That
about let's
shit
talk
was
about the two
insane.
goals that happened before we get into the second half, right? Sai
Yeah.
and
So it's
Nagi.
1-0 at this
First
point.
off, first off, Nagi,
Jesus.
I don't understand the fucking people pleaser that Nagi is. It's I don't get it. Like they Blue Lock rides so hard for Nagi,
They ride
right?
hard for a lot of other people too.
But they fucking gave Nagi a
A
spinoff
hard
movie.
penis. Yeah,
They
no,
gave
I
Nagi a
mean,
spinoff movie.
no, I get it.
And it's
They're
like
riding everybody's dick right now, though.
dude, the whole time I was like, dude, he's dope. I enjoy him. He's a good soccer player. I don't get the write off. And then the way he scored that goal, is that even possible? Because I don't play soccer.
Uh,
I've never played soccer.
I've never seen
You
somebody
you
do that.
have. You
I've
have.
never seen. So let me put
But
that in
is
perspective.
it possible
I
to
watch
do?
soccer very
Yeah.
often.
Austin,
I've never,
like the
I've
state of
never,
Texas.
I've never, ever, 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 ever seen somebody
Heel
toe
tap
tap the
down.
ball, toe
Yeah.
tap the ball
Oh, there's
down,
toe tap. All right.
pops it up, does a reverse
Pops it.
spin,
Go ahead, pop that
pop,
bitch, nigga.
and then
Yeah.
spins in the air and then hits it. Now, the correct reaction for that goal was for everybody to stop and go like this.
So you're saying in real life, everybody would have been like,
Everybody would have done exactly what they did in the show when that happened, because everybody was quiet, everybody was looking at each
I did
other.
appreciate the humor in that where he was like, "Yo, did I do something wrong?" Like everybody in this bitch silent. I just scored a goal,
Yeah,
nigga. Like, what the fuck are
yeah.
we doing, dog?
No, slightly before that goal, I have seen, Sayatoshi's goal where he
Where it's like the
didn't have an
zero
angle.
degree
Right, didn't
curve
really
in.
have a degree angle,
Yeah.
and it seems impossible, and then somebody lofts it over the goalie, on the far end. So I have seen that before, that's very realistic. Never, never in the entire time I've watched soccer or highlights have
All
seen
right.
that, what Nagi did.
All right. So Nagi's goal, is it at
Mhm.
least possible? Like,
I
I
don't
understand
I can't I
it's
wanna
not
say it
realistic.
is.
So let me
In
frame
a
it real
real
quick.
game, no, I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah,
so.
let
In
me
a
let
real
me frame
game,
it. Yeah.
no.
Let me frame it. So let's say cuz like everybody anybody who's an athlete knows like when you're out of the pressure of a real game, you can fuck around like the professionals at least, right? They
Right,
can
you can
fuck
fuck
around
around and do some
they could
shit.
do some wild shit, right?
Yeah.
Like basketball players, they go 10 from 10 from every spot. And then you put them in a game and it's fucking they're shooting
They're
45%,
2 for
right?
10.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like fucking it's out of control. So in soccer, do you think that's even the goal is just possible even in
You wouldn't
just
even practice that. You
outside of
wouldn't even practice it.
but if you did, do you think it's possible to like
No, not
move
in a
like
game.
that?
No, not in a game, and then even to move like that, it would be like you'd have to be a 0.01% player to be able to hit that shot, even just normally fucking
So
around.
you'd have to be a 0.01%. And on top of being that 0.01%, you'd have to be
You'd
one of
have to
those
get
0.01% with the opportunity, with the skill. And so you'd be like the
to have
0.00001%.
plopped it off the ground yourself. Yeah, like, it made more
we're
sense if
we're
someone
we're
gave him
fucking
the ball.
8 zeros deep on this nigga right now.
So if someone passed him the ball and then he turns and does that spin kick that he
Yeah.
did, fine. But if he gets it himself, then he like toe taps it down, then reverse spins like that, and it
All right.
no.
Now, as a true soccer fan, because we've gone over this on the show, like I'll watch the World Cup, I'll watch I'll watch
That's it.
Premier
That's
League,
all
I'll
you'll
watch
watch.
no, I'll
No,
watch
you
some
don't watch
Premier
Premier
League.
League.
I d
No, you don't.
some, very
Yeah,
little,
no. Name the
very
last game you
little,
saw.
but some. I watched Chelsea Arsenal,
When?
fucking maybe like a year ago.
3 years ago?
No,
A
not three,
year ago.
not three, maybe a year ago. But I watched some high level soccer, very little, I might add. So, as someone who watches soccer yourself, when you see that, knowing it's not as realistic, were you like, "Oh shit," or you were like, "That's not happening"? Like, what was
I
your
did the same
reaction on
thing.
that?
When
You
he
were like,
tapped it down when he tapped it down,
so it
because
didn't take away from the effect of it, is what I'm asking.
no, I did exact same thing. I did the exact same thing
All
that
right,
all the
cool.
fans that you saw went like this, literally. I was like, literally, swear to God. I was
That's
literally like, "Oh my god." That was the
that
dopest goal I've seen in BlueLock so far.
that's like one of those things where it's like, all right, that's a mark of a really, really good fucking anime. Where you see something, you know it's not realistic, and you're so caught up in everything where you're like, "Oh shit." They do
Like
such a good job.
it was an amazing goal. Amazing
Yeah,
reaction to that goal. It really
yeah,
brought an emphasis to it. It made it a moment in the show. It gave all the Nagi dick riders their kind of moment to come.
yeah.
So
Gotta
I
come.
get it.
Everybody's
It
gotta
made
come.
sense.
Everybody's gotta
Yeah,
come. You can't
it
walk
made
around with heavy
sense.
balls. Everybody knows this about balls.
Um, it was also cool to see Sayatoshi in action. Um,
So,
and you know,
Saitoshi, I do want to touch with you on that one. So, like, even through the whole second half, because we're just so you guys know, we're kind of free flowing it. We're kind of talking about everything. Through the whole second half, one of my favorite things about him was that he's like everybody's constantly calling him a prodigy, right? Like you're a prodigy.
yeah,
Oh, take
genius.
this prodigy,
They're
like
calling him a
genius, fucking
genius.
multiple times, right? So that moment, there's a moment in there where like Isagi tries to outthink everybody, and Sayatoshi comes up and fucking steals the ball from him,
But he
right?
like
When
gave
he
him
wants to
credit
take
too, I'm
and he's
pretty
like,
sure.
"Yo, I'm not gonna." Yeah, he's like, "Yo,
He
he's
shot
like,
him a
you're not gonna
compliment.
get that direct shot." Like like fucking Isagi's never had an opportunity to do a direct shot.
And he
So
knew that that was
how do
his.
you know that's his weapon? So not only do you know it's his weapon, but you know that he saw the field and everything like that. And Sai Itachi walks up and he's like, "Yo, nigga, hey, good stuff. I respect the shit out of that. You're not that dude though, nigga. Like,
Right. But
what are
he
we
did
doing?"
say at some point, I'm pretty sure he said he's the heart of the Blue Lock,
Yes.
at some point where
Yes.
he was like, "You're the fucking key here, and I gotta make sure I keep an eye on you."
Yeah, he's like, "Yo, everybody's yo." So I
Everybody
all
keeps
right.
saying that, and hold on, real quick. To be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they weren't really showing him be the key. It was just like
No.
little moments where he would
Yeah.
like be a link, and that was it. And you're like, is he really the heart? I mean, you see all these other guys like really making the ball up the field, getting, active passes in, getting active shots in, and you're like, why is he still complimenting him?
So I think that's actually a big problem with Blue Lock. So when we talk about Blue Lock, we don't talk about a lot of problems with it because there's not much. Truly, like there's not many problems with it, you know. But to point out like the little problem, like one of the problems that they have is that with like Isagi, they want to show they have so many characters that are so good at what they do that they want to show everybody,
Have a
everyone.
moment.
Yeah,
Have a
they
moment.
wanna show, like, all the fans, everybody that, "Hey, this person's good, so let's show them at their best. This person's good, so let's show them at their worst."
For the
And it
audience, he's talking bachira, he's talking hiyori, he's talking
yeah,
chigiri, he's talking rin, he's talking baru, he's talking all the guys who
yep.
you see.
And so what they do to try and tie that together is they have moments where you see like Chigiri, you see Nico, you see Baru where they're like, "Oh, I'm trying to devour
You see the
Isagi.
keeper.
I'm trying to be better than Isagi." And everybody's like, "Yo, like you're trying to be better than Isagi, but you should be trying to be better than Rin. Like he's the dude that
Doing the
everybody's
most.
showing. So why are you trying to be better than him?" And it's like we understand that Isagi's the better, like he's the main character.
Yeah.
Isagi's the one who's the gel on the team, but
Yeah.
they kind of conflict that in the way they show it. Does that make sense?
They conflict it. So by
Yeah, because
conflict
they
it, do
show
they
go ahead, go
are
ahead.
you saying they
Ask
conflate
your
it more
question.
so? Like, they conflate it in that,
What do you mean?
they make it seem like everyone is playing a role, but ultimately, it's Isagi
So
kinda being that mode? Or do you think that they don't show enough of Isagi being the mode, and then they just
that
say
That
he's the mode?
that they
It's
don't
more about
show enough
saying
that yeah, they don't show enough of Isagi being the mold. Like
similar
they
like Aqua, right? Like Aqua and Oshinoko, where they
yeah,
show Aqua being the mold in multiple moments of that show to a lot of
yes.
characters.
Yes.
Whereas Isagi,
Where
it's
he's
kinda
the
like,
standard. Yeah. Yeah,
okay,
they don't
it's
do a
not
good
far
job.
off. Keep that in
Yeah,
mind,
and the
audience. It's
problem
not far off.
and I truly understand that the problem is that in Blue Lock, everybody has their weapons, everybody's good. So it's
Everybody's a
hard.
striker.
Yeah, and they all have different skills, right? So I truly understand that it's hard to really show that Isagi's the one who everybody's kind of following behind, but all they're
Uh,
doing to show that he's the one is that he beats him. Like they're like, "Yeah, Isagi beat me in this match." And all these people are mad because he's not as physically talented as them. Like they're like, "Yeah, his
yeah,
skill, his best skill, his weapon is seeing the field." Like, nigga, we all see the field. Like that's a
yeah,
prereq to be on the field.
yeah,
Like that's English 101. You know what I mean? Like we all
yeah.
see the field. Like that's his skill.
That's
Like
rare
he ain't
though.
shit. It's not a physical
That's a
attribute.
rare bad skill though. That's a rare
Yeah,
bad
but it's
skill
not a
because
but
everybody else's skill makes
right,
sense.
but my point is it's not a physical attribute. Like they always talk about his
Yeah,
physical
it's
attributes
IQ.
being below average. And so it's like, why don't you guys do a better job of showing him being the best all the time? Or not even all the time, just more than they have. You know what I
I was
mean?
gonna say making him more so have an impact versus just him being there, because him being there sometimes is his impact, and it's like, all right, I get it. He's around, but it's like he's
Right,
not
because
really
because
impacting.
him and Ren through the whole second half, because essentially everything we cover
They're kind of going back and forth.
the first 2 episodes are the end of the first half, but majority of what we're covering is in the second half. And the whole
Right.
second half is everybody eating off of Isagi, really. Like, they're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, we're absorbing Ren, and Ren's not getting his shine," but the reason Ren's not getting his shine is because everybody can read. Everybody knows what Isagi's doing. They're like, "Yeah, we could read Ren, but that's because of Isagi, because we can follow his movements and his," which I don't truly understand. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, I mean, Isagi, they do show Isagi doing a great job playing at other people's pace. So when he needs to step up,
Okay.
he steps up. When he needs to slow down, he slows down. When he needs to defend, he needs to defend. So
Well,
I
so
do see how they're kind
to
of
your
connecting
point,
him with
yeah,
everyone in
to
an
your
easier
point,
way.
they did a really good job of showing that through the first, was it the first 6 episodes we covered when they're
Right.
doing that
Because
first selection? When they were like,
right.
"Yo, Isagi waking up and starting to get everybody going is changing the dynamic of this match."
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about it, think about all the runs that everyone has had. Isagi's always right next to him. So,
Yeah,
Chigiri has a run. Isagi's
yeah,
next to him. Fucking what's his face? The Kinyu dude has a run. The guy with the
yeah,
sunglasses.
yeah.
He has a run. Isagi's there next to him to
That's
help him
fair.
out.
I didn't
Rin
think
has
about
a
it like
run.
that.
Isagi's
I
there
didn't think
next
about
to
it
him.
like that.
And then I know there's one other guy who I can't think of
Yeah,
right now, but
yeah,
Isagi, they do throw in Isagi right next to everyone
yeah.
for the most part.
Now the dude that the U-20 team stole from BlueLock, Shido?
Yes.
Or is it Shindo or
Well, and
Shido?
It's Shido. But before we get to him, right before, because this is
Yeah,
at
yeah,
halftime,
go
right?
ahead, go ahead.
Did you think that Blue Lock was going to be up 2-1 at halftime before
No,
the game started?
no. So, like,
That was a shock to
you're
me.
talking, like, my thoughts when the game just started. No, I didn't think they'd be up
Correct.
2-1.
At
I
half.
honestly, like, so when they started, I
I
was
thought
like,
it was
"It's
going to be
gonna
0
be,"
0.
I thought it was gonna be 0-0. I thought it was gonna be 0-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now when you go into half and it's 2-1 and Blue Lock's up and they're feeling themselves, did you think
Shido.
Shido, did you
Shido.
know
The
before
only
they
dude I
showed
was
him,
thinking
right?
about.
Because they showed him at the end of the first half being like, "Yo,
And
I'm
he's just
fucking
sitting
ready to
on the,
go."
he's
Like
just
in a
sitting
goddamn
and
straitjacket damn near. And they're like,
he's,
"Yo," he's like, "I'm about to fuck some shit up." Before you
it's
saw
my
that,
turn.
when you saw them go down, were you like, "Oh, they're gonna bring him in eventually?"
I was thinking about Shido from the very, very beginning of the
Okay.
entire game. I just knew he was going to be a part of the game. I knew that the deal that Sai and Aiku made wasn't going to
Mhm.
last. He
Yeah.
was like, Shido needs to stay out, blah, blah, blah. I could see
Yeah,
it
yeah.
going downhill. It reaffirmed it when they were down one. It would have been cooler if it was 0-0. Again, more possibilities. Do they sub him in even though they haven't scored or conceded yet? It would have brought more drama to that
Yeah.
decision.
So do you think
Um,
they did
that's
you
where they messed
so
up, I think.
as you're watching, I agree. I agree that is where they messed up. But as you were watching, did you think they were gonna put them in the first half? Or did you know in your
Nope.
heart that they were gonna
Second half.
wait until the second half?
Second half for sure.
Now,
It had to be.
was there any part of you that thought he wasn't gonna go in at all?
Nope. Not even a
So you
second.
were it was 0%,
0%. He's
0.00.
too unique of a character. Too unique of a character to keep out that entire game.
Yeah. So my problem with him is they added too much anime on his character. And by that, I mean they made him some weird creep where he got turned on by goals he
Oh yeah, he was
scored.
coming and shit.
And he was
Told you
like,
people were fucking.
"Oh, oh,
Told you people were
the
fucking.
way you
What
pass
did I
that turned
say?
me on.
What did I
Oh,
say?
can you please be my roommate?
Uh
Oh
huh.
god." I
I
hate
want to see you butt naked. Pull your pants down. He definitely said that.
it's one of my biggest frustrations with anime, like, as a
Told you.
whole. It has nothing
I
to do with the
told
show.
you.
It's one of my
I
biggest
told you.
frustrations with
I
anime as
said
a whole.
they fucking.
It's
They
like,
fucking.
alright, dude. Alright, you definitely did say that. I disagree
This
because
is
they
what we're
booted
talking
that nigga
about.
out because he was trying to clap them cheeks. You know what I mean? Like, they
I
were
know
like,
you
"Yo,
ain't
you're
watching
trying to
that
take them cheeks, you can't be up in here, dog."
that Sukasa in the back line on
Ooh.
Blue Lock is also a
Ooh.
fruity tootie.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Tsuka. By the
chigiri
way, you gotta
booty
get going on
tootie.
the new season. It's so good.
Oh, Doctor Stone.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Oh
with it.
wow, I didn't know it
I'm
came
with it.
out. I
I'm
didn't
with
know
it.
it came
Yeah,
out.
it just started. I threw it up there in one of our episodes where I was like, "Yeah, we're covering Doctor Stone." You probably missed it.
You
It's not
sure?
a
I
big
missed
deal.
it.
We'll keep it moving.
Yeah, I think you're lying. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
might be. I don't remember
yeah.
much. I'm also very
No,
drunk.
again, I mean, Shido, you had to have known he's coming in at some point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
find it hard to believe anybody wasn't thinking he was coming in.
Yeah.
And
So my thing was
I
how
love
soon.
that. I love that they fuck him up off rip. So he's already creating a problem, and that one dude fouls him. That one
Oh
defender
yeah, yeah, yeah.
fouls him
Nico.
off rip.
Nico.
And that was the first foul of the game. What did you think of that? First foul of any kind in any
I don't
portion of Blue
watch
Lock.
so I don't watch a lot
First
of
foul.
soccer. So I'm not sure how
It was the
often.
first foul. No, I'm just
Yeah, it
kidding.
was.
I
It
just can't
was
say
like
that.
truly. It truly was. I
It
don't
was the
watch a lot of
first.
soccer. So I don't know how common fouls are in a real soccer match.
Very
Like
common.
I've seen some low level soccer by watching the World Cup. Like in the World Cup, it just
That's still pretty
happens.
high.
Yeah,
Still pretty high.
it's like it's the highest up there,
Caliber, but
but
just like pickup. It's like a
yeah,
pickup game of
yeah.
like high caliber.
Every now and then, you get like two random teams where you're like, "Oh, this doesn't seem like good soccer." But so
Yeah.
aside from those like random matches, I don't know how often fouling happens. But when it
it
happened, I was like, "Oh shit!" I
it
definitely thought it
happens.
was on purpose. I
Oh shit,
definitely
it
thought it was on
happens.
purpose. I was like, "Yo, sometimes like." It's kind of like pass interference. Like I always equate everything to football because it's what I know the most about.
It's because the Eagles just
And
won. No, I get it.
well, so and that was my main sport. So it's like every
Yeah.
now and then, like if you're let's say you're a cornerback, you'll fall. And if you fall, sometimes giving up and grabbing the dude down, giving up a pass interference is better than giving up a touchdown. Like I'd rather
Yeah.
give a pass interference call on 15 yards or spot of where I'm at
Yeah.
over a touchdown. And so when I saw it happen, I was like, "Oh, for sure he did that on purpose. Like he wanted to foul him to keep the shit from happening."
Yeah. No, I like it. They came out rough and rugged off on him off rip. They made him an instant impact player off rip. Knew that was gonna happen, even though they made him super fruity. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah,
It's
I
it
mean,
started a chain, is what it is. It started a chain of substitutions. So it started the fucking Rio substitution, which by the way, I respect the shit out of Ego
mhm,
because like you obviously like we've brought this up throughout the podcast, throughout past podcasts. I don't know too much about soccer. I just know enough about athletics and sports.
mhm,
I never would have thought to use Rio as a defender with his copy skill and have him watch the other players. That
yeah,
shit was smart as shit to me because I hadn't
it's
thought of it.
dope.
But they brought Rio in, they brought the country
Iori,
bumpkin dude in, Hiyori, and then eventually they bring in Baru, who's one of my
yes,
favorite characters in the world.
the donkey, donkey, shut up,
Fucking
donkey.
but that started like the chain of it, right? And it's like
Right.
it even started the chain
But
of
hold
like
on.
ego. Go ahead, go ahead.
But hold on. Right before they got brought in, what brought them in, which was the pink nigga's amazing goal.
I
You remember
literally,
where he's fucking 80 yards out and he
yeah,
fucking does an Ibra. So this kick actually happened,
he
Shane,
floats up
in
to his
real life.
fucking swan kick.
World in the World Cup. It happened. A guy named Zlatan Ibrahimovic
Oh, I
in
love
the
Zlatan.
qualifier. Yeah,
I love
he did this
Zlatan.
goal. They
Yeah,
gave a shout out to him there because
yeah,
he the goalkeeper, and I wish we could play it on our you could have it up on the screen as
yeah.
I'm doing this, but the
I won't.
goalkeeper cleared the ball out and Ibra runs out to the ball like damn near half field, does a bicycle backwards kick, like launches it all the way back above the fucking
Yeah,
keeper and into the goal. And I was like, oh my god, they just gave credit to Ibrahimovic or like a shout out to him because that
yeah.
goal actually happened.
All right, that's dope. By the way,
Fucking
I didn't
crazy.
know that.
I
I fuck
instantly
with
thought of it, and if you know, you know. The walk to the viewers,
yeah.
if
So
you know,
you
you know.
guys, I don't know if you guys watch Ted Lasso, but Zlatan plays a character in Ted Lasso where he's the best striker in the world, and he is one of my fucking favorites. His name is Zava. and Ted Lasso, and he's the shit. And I found out he was a real soccer player. That's how I know about him and stuff like that. But one of my favorite things is his interview. He has an interview where he goes to MLS
Uh-huh.
and they're talking to him and they're like, "What do you think of this dude?" They say he's better. He goes, "He'll
He's
never
like,
be
"It's the
better than me."
MLS."
Yeah,
He's
he was like, "He'll never be better than me." He goes, "How old is he?" And they go, "He's 26." He goes,
like, "When
"Where
I
was
was
I in
26."
26?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you were in the Premier League." And he goes, "Yeah." All right, so you guys get it now. And they were like, "What?
Yeah.
That's it? That's it?" And he was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." Like, I didn't play in the US when I was 26 because I was too good for it, nigga. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I did. And so
Yeah.
I fuck with Zlatan. Um,
Yeah.
have you seen that interview? Side note?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
But I didn't know that was a real goal. Point being is
Yeah,
that I
that
didn't
was
know
him.
that was a real
That
life
was
goal.
him.
Yeah.
Ibrahimovic did that.
That's fucking dope. I do
Yeah.
enjoy that they did that.
I was like, "Oh my
They didn't
god,
have to make
they
him so
really
goddamn
recopied
fucking
that."
creepy. Shido,
Yeah.
not
No.
Zlatan.
Yeah, Zlatan was definitely not fucking dudes in the ass.
Yeah, or talking about fucking coming from passes and shit like that. Fucking was.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, this turns
No,
me on."
yeah.
And Saitoshi was like, "Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but stop being weird and how about we score some more goals?" And he's like, "I want to
Yeah.
fight this dude." And he was like, "Stop being weird and score some goals." He's like, "All I want to
But
do is stop being weird, nigga."
yeah. Sigh the whole time, dude, shut
Yeah,
up. Just score a goal.
yeah,
Um, no, but
that did
I
start
do
the
like how you
substitution thing.
mentioned I do like how you mentioned Rio though as his like chameleon version. That was dope. I thought the animation for when they chose him to be a chameleon was
How
dope.
he kind of
Like
locks
how
down
it
everybody.
manifested it
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
became the snake and shit like
That's
that. I was
cool. I
like,
fucked
that's
with that
dope.
super
And it
hard.
made
Yeah.
even more sense for Ego to bench him so that way he could evaluate and start
Yeah, so he
copying
could sit and
people
watch the
before.
game based on his skill. And it was
No
like,
one
it's
thought
fucking
about that.
god damn, dude. It's so
Ego's a
fucking good.
beast.
He's
Ego's a
so
beast.
fucking good. That motherfucker was spitting some truths because when he brought in
Fiore.
fucking Red Locks,
Oh,
when he brought Red, he's like,
chigiri.
"Hey man, why you bitching, dog?" He's like, "If your conditioning isn't good enough, then fucking get better. If you didn't
Yeah.
put in the work, then you don't
Then
deserve to
you
be out
clearly have
there."
more.
Yeah.
You clearly have more to fucking
He's
do,
like, "Stop being
bitch.
a bitch. If you think me subbing you out is wrong, fucking say something right now,
Well,
nigga."
and then he said that, and then Isagi turns around and confronts him. You remember
Yeah.
towards the end of the second half where
I fucked with
Isagi
that
said,
so
"Hey,"
hard.
he goes, "No, fuck that." He goes, "Because Ego was like, you
Yeah,
guys
it
are
was
still
like,
gonna have
"Hey,
careers," and we
Blue
talked
Lock
about that,
wins. We've
right?
changed soccer." Yeah, yeah.
Right, and we talked about that where we're like, "Is everybody really's careers gonna go?" I mean, you could just. I
Yep.
remember you saying you could just go play like
Yeah.
on a
Yeah,
pro,
because
like
they
a
all
minor
talk
league pro
about it
league or like a
like their
college,
soccer
like
league is over. And I was like, "Yeah,
yeah.
nah, you're
Nah,
not
dude,
over."
you're good. You could
Yeah,
just
but he says that, and
Ego
then
was
they're
saying that, and
and
Isagi said,
then
"No, fuck that.
yeah,
We're
he's like,
winning
"Nah,
here
tell
and
me what to
now."
do with win. We want to win. It's the only option here."
Yeah.
And I fucked with that so hard.
Yep.
I literally wrote down their whole conversation in my notes where I was like, "He
All
said
right.
this. Ego says
That's
this. He says
all right.
this."
Chill
And
out.
he's a literally it says Isagi says, "Make us win, Four Eyes."
Oh
Like
yeah,
he
yeah,
called that
yeah.
nigga Four Eyes. And then the reason I wrote it down is because it made me giggle. Because Ego's like, "Hey, uh even if we lose, like we're still good. We're giving up. Like we did the best we can. Oh my god, I'm a bitch." Yada yada yada. And then Isagi's like, "Hey, shut the fuck up, Four Eyes. We need to win." And then he's like, "Okay, then let's win. We'll do this." I was like, "Well, that was fucking easy."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it
no,
was a
that
super quick.
right. And then
He's
right
like, "All
after
right, Badu, get in there
yeah,
and fucking
right.
be
Yep.
weird."
Right after Isagi says that "fuck that" speech is what I call it. It's the "fuck
Yeah,
that, we're going for it" speech.
I like that. Yeah.
Baru does his fucking weird ass like he creates chaos.
Dude, I fucking love Baru because like I don't have to understand soccer to know that stealing the
He's so
ball from
selfish.
your own teammate
He's so selfish.
would cause chaos in a real soccer match. Like I don't need
Yeah.
to know anything to truly understand that this motherfucker is so wild and out of control that nobody can predict him. Like I fuck with him so hard. Where even he was like, "Yo, Isagi," like when Rin came and helped out Isagi, and he was like, or when he
Yeah.
scored the goal,
Uh-huh.
And it was because Ren came to help out Isagi. He was like, "Yeah, I stole your
Yeah.
life." And he's like, "Well, how'd you know I was looking that play up?" He's like, "Well,
Well, I was
I
thinking
got
about
locked down
Isagi.
and I was thinking about you and I wanted to eat you up and steal the ball from you." But then Ren started coming in and I was like, "Hey, Ren is just like a better Isagi." So
Yeah.
I just had to
He
think like
saw
a better
Isagi
you,
and Rin as the same
and
person.
I stole that ball. Why is this so complicated for you? Like, I think
Yeah,
you're
he's
trash.
like
I just want to take the ball from you. And there's 3 U's on the field.
Oh, and I love how Ego was, like, trying to explain to Baru what to do, and he's like, "Yeah, I was gonna do that already. You didn't
Yeah,
have to tell me that.
he's like, "Hey, let me out
I
of."
need you to
He's like,
lock
"I
in on
need you to go
Isagi."
in there and eat Isagi." He's like, "Dude, what the fuck are we
That's what
doing
I
here,
was gonna
nigga? Like,
do.
was I gonna do?"
What else was I gonna
I
do?
I was halfway expecting him to be like, "Hey, I'm
Uh,
sorry. You thought I was gonna do something else? I apologize that you felt the need to tell me that because I was always gonna do that. So I'm
yeah,
sorry if I haven't been the best me I can be." You know?
yeah. That shit was hilarious,
Holy
hilarious.
shit. And the
And he goes
chaos
like,
he
"Yeah, I'm
causes is
sure, I
legit.
guess." It was funny. It was fucking funny,
It's
the way that
great.
they had the other team, like,
I'm
going
such a
like,
big
"How the
fan
fuck do you?"
of when people, like, make people the storyline. You know, like, your
Yeah.
personality creates your humor. I'm a big fan. It reminds me of the one I always point to is Thor in, the original Thor movie, where he
Uh-huh.
slams the drink down, he's like, "Huh, I'll have another." They're like, "What's your fucking problem?" He's like, "Nothing. No problem. It was good. I wanted another." It's like I enjoy that so much because it's a character's personality creating the humor, and
Yeah.
I truly appreciate that.
Good point. And what's that compared to in Blue Lock?
Bardu.
Okay.
Yeah, where it's like
So
his
Barter's
personality,
personality
yeah,
is
his
creating his humor.
personality is creating his own humor because
Yeah.
it's like you see him pop out of nowhere. Like even I forgot about him when Izagi and Rin were locking up for that play when Baru scores a goal. I was
Uh-huh.
like, and then Baru comes out and steals the ball. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that thing.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
Isagi's like, how'd you figure it out? He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was
Well,
simple
and
as
it
shit.
was I mean, the funniest part was the first goal or the first missed goal that Baru had because I knew Baru was going to score eventually, but
Yeah.
I was like, is he going to go off rip? And it was funny that he didn't score off rip because he hits the pole, and it's funny because Isagi's the whole time yelling at him, "Pass the ball, pass it now!" Like over and over again, and Baru's still like, "No," and
Nope.
again, he ends up scoring down the line, but
Yeah.
Baru's personality is fucking priceless. Um,
Agreed.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what did you think about Rio recreating Nagi's move
I
when you
liked
saw
it.
that?
So the one thing I don't get about Rio is why is everything in 99%? Do you think eventually he'll have an overdrive of like where he's
Yeah,
like 105%? Where
yeah.
he
Why not?
surpasses their copy. Like
It's a whole nother
I did
season,
enjoy him like copying that move because he was like, "Yeah, I've been watching his move forever. No one knows this move better than
and it
me.
made
Of course, I'm
sense.
gonna
Yeah, you're
copy it."
like,
I'm like,
wait,
"Yeah."
he's
I was like, "You
he's
have.
right.
That's true. No one's seen it
It's
more.
true. Wait, hold on.
That's your
That's
guy.
true.
Yeah,
That's true. If
yeah.
anybody could do it, it's him.
It's gotta be." He spent hours because he sees Nagi score these insane. Like, all right, as a kid, all right.
Get your ass out of my mouth. That you just
Oh,
randomly see on your screen. On your
just oh, fuck.
screen.
But it's like when you see it, like as a kid, when you see something that's dope, you go home and you try and do it again. So there's no way in hell he hasn't tried any of Nagi's moves. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he's had to have. So it made so much sense.
Yeah. No, it made perfect sense. It lined up. I thought it was a dope time to bring it
Yeah,
out because I didn't think he would have copied an attacker's move.
yeah,
That's what was so dope about it.
yeah. Did
Because
you
you
think?
think he'd copy the monk. You think he'd copy Aiku. You
Yeah.
don't think he'd copy Nagi.
Now, as we're closing in the pod, did you think that Blue Lock was gonna win?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Only because of Isagi's speech.
Yeah. All right. Now, what did you think of fucking Rain's like flow state?
That was wild. I thought it was
This
disgusting.
is weird.
Yeah, I would
I
have been
thought it
like,
would
put
be
your tongue away.
yeah.
Put your tongue
So
away.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna grab that and put that back in your mouth. Just
yeah, just
no.
put your tongue away. I thought
Dude,
his eyes was dope, right? Like his
yeah,
the shape on his eyes and it
yeah,
circulating was dope, but his
yeah.
tongue, I didn't like that.
Yeah, I will
Put
say
your tongue
that
away.
final, I was super disappointed. This is where the animation truly kicked in, the bad animation, because
I thought it was pretty dope.
that final moment of Itachi and him going at it, where they changed the anime style. I
Itachi, you
didn't
mean Sai?
Sai.
They're both
They're
Itachi.
both. I thought they were both Sai. That's my bad.
They're both
Sai and
they're
Rin
both
Itachi.
Itachi.
That's my bad. That's
Yeah,
my bad. That's my bad. Uh, when they were going at it, I was expecting like a much better animation, and so I didn't care for
I
that.
don't know. I thought it was pretty dope.
What I did like is that they brought luck back
Yes,
into it.
yes,
I
I'm
didn't
glad you
even
brought
like
that up as well. I have it
because
written down.
they
I
had
had it
brought
written
that
down.
up
The
in the
final piece.
yep, where
The
he's like,
final
yeah,
piece.
sometimes it's
And
just luck.
it popped up right so you didn't see Isagi that whole entire battle between Rin
Yep,
and Sai. And
yep,
then all of a sudden you see him reach his leg out and hit the ball and it goes up in the air. And as it slowly flows in the air to a pocket, you see Isagi coming and then the puzzle piece luck.
yep.
And I was like, perfection.
Yeah, it
Perfection.
was fucking
Perfection.
the best way could especially, like,
Perfection.
when you think about everything full circle
Perfection.
because they had laid the brick for that. Was it at the end of last
'Cause
season
he's
or
like,
at the beginning
what
of
am
this
I
season?
missing? Yeah, he's like,
Because it was that thing
I
where
have instinct, I have everything.
where Reen popped in and it was like the luck piece fell. They're like, "You can't forget about luck." And I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, shit, nigga, I forgot about luck." Like, I forgot about that shit.
Completely.
Like 100%, I forgot
Completely.
about it, and
Completely
Isagi
forgot about
fucking
luck.
rolls up and fucking
Right
oh,
to him. Right to him. Gets lucky. Gets
yep,
lucky.
and then fully
Insane.
embraced the ego in that interview where he was like, "Yo, I don't know, could you imagine being the person, yeah, what do you think's gonna happen?" I don't know, I'm really happy to
No, he
score the
said he was
goal,"
gonna
and then
he
halfway
said,
through
"I'm
the
gonna leave
interview
Japan."
halfway through the interview, the light switch flips, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna lead Japan to a World Cup." Like, the fuck? This nigga was
He
just
pulled the mic away real
stammering and
quick.
fucking confused, and all of a sudden he's a fucking boss? What the fuck are we doing
Um,
here?
we're gonna go to commercial.
Yep. But
No,
I
yeah, that was
truly,
dope.
truly enjoyed that. I
Yeah, and
truly
then
enjoyed it.
so obviously this was a great season. Do you think it was better than season 1?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, by far. They lived up to expectations. They did a great
Yeah,
job throughout. Again,
yeah.
I don't shit on the animation as much as
No,
everybody else is, but it
me
is what it
neither.
is. I can see why
Yeah,
people don't. What do you think about the Neo Egoist League and kind of or yeah, what are you
that's coming
thinking?
up and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So, I have a question for you before we do that. My question to you is, the U-20 team, they talk about, like, so they stole, Shido. They have the captain where he's admittedly used to be a striker, right? And they have
yeah,
Sai
that's true.
Itachi. Do you think any of them are gonna slide into
Stay.
Blue Lock?
I think Aiku stays and I think Sai stays.
I think Sai, Aiku, and I think Shido comes back. I think
Oh yeah, and
those
Cheeto.
three
Yeah, yeah.
I think those three are gonna slowly make their way into Blue Lock eventually. I don't know what capacity. I don't know if they're
I
gonna
think they'll be on
become
the team.
members or whatever the
I think
case
they'll
may
be on
be.
the team.
But I think they're gonna either, regardless, I think they'll end up on the team. But the
Yeah.
Neo Eagles League, like, I don't know
What
exactly
the
what
fuck is
that
that?
means
Yeah,
because I'm
that's what I
like,
was
yo,
thinking.
they've been playing against each other this whole time.
So
Like,
who else is there?
so why are we doing a league for it?
Why is there a league?
Which means they're probably gonna grab prodigies from other countries, right? Like, it's gotta
No, you
mean
can't.
that.
It's got to be Japan because they're.
Well,
You remember they're the
they're
U-20.
trying to find it, but if they're doing a league, maybe they're inviting other countries, and other countries who saw it on film or on TV. We're like, yo,
I don't know. I
we're
think you're
gonna
off.
get
I
them a
think you're
plane.
off on
I don't
this.
know.
I
That's
think
what
you
I think. I
suck.
could be. I very well could. I don't suck,
Um,
but I could be wrong.
I think your opinion's horrible
I
on
mean,
this
I don't
one.
suck. I lick. I lick a
Um,
lot. What's up, ladies?
I don't think you're talking about ladies. Anyway, watching a little too
Men.
much Blue Lock over here. Anyway,
Stupid. What do you think?
uh, yeah, no, I don't understand the Neo Egoist League. I have no idea. I can't
Yeah, I
even
refuse to
comprehend.
look it up because I don't want to get
Yeah,
any spoilers.
correct. Yeah, so we'll just see. But
Mhm.
I am curious about the whole blue flower mystery nigga. That's what I call him on my notes.
Blue flower mystery nigga. What
He
do you
had like
mean?
a blue flower on the back of his chest because
Oh
they or
yeah,
back of his back because they can't be not sus in Blue Lock. Like, why
yeah.
you got to
The
show the
are you
nigga's
talking
blue
about the dude
flower
who's
on
like
there?
coming out of the tunnel and you're like, who the fuck is this nigga?
No, no.
Where it's all
I
blackened?
think it's just showing him. It's like a close up to him, and he has like a blue flower
Oh, okay. Yeah,
on his shoulder and shit. And it's like,
yeah.
why are you showing that angle? Why his
Who the fuck
back?
is this
Why does he have a
nigga?
flower?
Yeah,
Why like that was a weird way of bringing somebody up.
I agree. I agree.
But yeah, we'll see. Excited for it. Don't know when it
Yep.
releases. Did you look that up?
I did
Season
not.
3?
Nope. I
Awesome.
did not.
We're a
I
great
did
show.
not even take it. I didn't even think to look it up.
So clearly next year is when it's coming out. We looked that
I
up.
would
We
hope
confirmed
so.
it.
That'd be nice. No
Um,
more Nagi movies. We got it. We're good.
no, yeah, we're
We
good
got
on
the
that.
Nagi movie. We're good.
That was a horrible. That movie
I
was
was
so
so
bad
upset. I was
that
so
we didn't
upset.
even make a fucking episode off of it
Nope,
because we
sure
would have just
didn't.
been shitting on it the
Yes,
whole
sir.
time. Anyway, um,
Yeah.
we appreciate y'all.
Every
We
single
love
fucking one of
y'all.
you. Please
Every single one of
always
y'all. Like,
subscribe,
subscribe,
comment, comment, comment.
comment.
Yes, sir.
We love it. We appreciate you guys. You guys have been commenting more. You've been liking more.
Oh
A
shit,
lot
y'all
of
have been
likes.
involved. You've been watching
Um,
too. We
so we
appreciate
love
it.
it. Any suggestions you guys have on what you want us to cover, what we
Yes,
shouldn't
sir.
cover, what you thought about what we covered, comment again.
Yep.
And that'll do it for me. It's your boy Blackie Chan.
Comedy Hashira.
Do you have anything last to say?
I got not shit.
Fuck the Eagles. All
Hey,
right,
fuck
let's
you.
get it.